Dear all, welcome you all to today's discussion. As you all know, this is the last Dhamma talk of this 2023 Vasa. So I think after the Vasa, do we do the Sunday discussions as well, or only during the Vasa? These discussions, yeah? Oh, okay. So go throughout the year. All right. So this is in that case, during the 3 months, this is yesterday was according to the Sri Lankan calendar, and I think same Thai and Myanmar traditions as well. Sometimes it's a little bit of difference in the day. So that yesterday was the end of Vasa for us. So we ended Vasa yesterday, completed our Vasa in 2023. And also for me, this is the last discussion for this year. And really glad that I think I have given 6-7 talks by now, maybe, with the talks in the last year as well. So I've been discussing about the qualities of meditators and different related topics to meditation. So I thought that I haven't talked about the techniques. So the Bhante is coming every day and he's asking us to develop this quality and that quality, and this is how it should be, this is how it should be. But so what we do as meditation, that's also very important. So usually, and personally, in my personal opinion, I believe developing qualities as a person is equally important as developing a meditation technique, because techniques, information about meditation techniques are really available in the outside and everywhere, and different techniques are there, and it's like widely available in online platforms and books and all. So we can see a lot of them practicing, engage with the practice and sitting and going on with the techniques. But the biggest issue and the biggest complaint from our society, especially from the students, are like why we are trying so hard, but still why we don't really develop our mind. Why it takes so long to concentrate, to develop, to calm down ourselves. So I personally believe it's because of the qualities. So sometimes I'm not saying that all the meditators in the world have like bad qualities and that's why they don't develop their mind. No, it's not the reason. It's because that we face day-to-day challenges every day, and we are working the stressful environment, struggle with the time, tiredness, and all these different things that disturbs us. And as well, the anger-based mental factors that we develop every day, sometimes attachment-based mental factors, delusion, all different type of mental factors that disturbs us, manage to pull us down in the pathway of meditation and path of concentrating and mindfulness. So that's why it's very important for us to pay attention to mindfulness, concentration, at the same time qualities. So that's why I was focusing on different qualities throughout the years. So I think almost 2 years we're talking about different qualities and different lessons about how to develop meditation. So hope that you guys have listened to them and developed the qualities. So now you're ready to listen to the techniques and follow them. So in here, it's a very important message that if we, when we develop meditation, at the same time we have to focus to the qualities. So when we develop qualities, how to assess whether we have developed those qualities or whether our mind is now different from before, that's a very complicated question to answer, because we are not really keep track on our meditation development every day. That's why some traditions and some teachers recommend to write down your meditation experience. This will be very interesting for you, because even I have tried with our kids program. So some of the kids start writing their meditation experience. I didn't expect that much of results from them, but I was surprised to see they can see the difference in their mind from the beginning and after a few months, just few months. It's because that we don't remember the nature of our mind at the beginning of the practice. So now if I ask you to write down the nature of your mind, yes, you will write down perfectly. But if I ask you the nature of your mind after a year or something, you will say that my mind is slightly developed. I was a different person before. Now I'm different. So I think meditation have helped me. So you can't really see how much What are the qualities that have changed? What are the mental factors that have developed? We can't really see that because we don't have that much of memory. I don't have that much of memory. Maybe some of you may. If you have, that's wonderful. So sometimes it's a big challenge for us to track our meditation. So that's why I advise, when you practice, if you're a beginner, try to maintain a journal. Just write down your meditation experience, just few lines. Don't write like books, then you ended up in a novel at the end of your meditation. Just write down few lines, 4 or 5 lines, that's enough. I'm starting my meditation this particular day. This is the nature of my mind. That's it. 5, 6 lines are enough. Maybe first day it may take a little bit longer, but it's okay. First day, first set of information can be longer. And after a month or 2, you don't have to look at the previous statement that you have wrote down. Just forget about the previous one. Don't look at that. Just think about yourself and think about the practice that you have developed right now. And write down that information. After another month or 2, again, just ignore about the previous information, just write down. So especially when you write down your experience, don't look at the previous. Then you compare, then you develop a comparison in your mind, then you write down something maybe which is not really accurate. Just need to write down what is in your mind now. And when you read them later, you may find out that your mind is not really developing that fast. You may find out it amazingly changed your mind within 2-3 months. It's possible. So personally, the experience that I have received from our students, majority of them, if they're meditating, the first statement that they have wrote down in the book, and like after 12 months or after 1 year or something, if you compare the first one and the last one, then you see the difference in your meditation, how changed you are. What was the effect of a meditation to your practice? So you can't do that without like a proper document, a proper record. So there were some people who have like amazing memory and their concentration ability is wonderful. They can do that. So if you ask someone like that, then you don't need to record. But if you're not, the best thing, record your meditation and then continue that record. So even if you write like 1 page a month, you just have to write like 12 pages in a year, right? So it's not a big deal. So like half a page is enough. If it is not that much, if it is 2-3 lines, wonderful. So then there'll be little record with you to help you. But if you continue, meditation is not something that you just develop for a year and you just check the progress and then you end the meditation and you pass that line. No. Meditation is a continuation. It's a process that you have to continue for a long time. If you want to start, if you want to develop, you have to keep the goal, a target for at least 10-20 years of meditation continuously. Or whatever the time that you have. It should be long time. Because mind is not something like your body that you can train within a year or 2 and then you're... Even if you train your body, if you don't maintain that, it will again go back to the previous state. So the same thing will happen to the mind. That's why record is important. When you see the record, you will see that now I'm not practicing like before. So my mind is now slowly moving away from my goal. So this record will help you to understand your practice. So, but personally, when I teach, I always say, don't look at that record and at least for 6 months. Don't read it back. You may discourage. At least 1 year is the best. So just write it down. Don't read it. After a year or something, you can read it. Especially, usually we advise to do this with a teacher. So then you have like someone to guide you through that process because you already have the record, so you can discuss with the record. So sometime, some of the things that you recognize as a trouble can be actually a development in your mind. I'll give you one example and go to the techniques. Sometimes meditators say that after they start meditating, now they feel like more anger is in their heart, more attachment is in their heart, more delusion is in their heart. So they start experiencing more anger, more attachment, more delusion than before. So they want to start meditation to settle down their mind. But after 1 or 2 months, they complain that now my mind, now I've experienced like more anger than before, more agitation in my heart than before, more attachment-based mental factors in my mind than before. So why is that? So some people misjudge, all right, the meditation have affected me and arise my anger, so I have not developed my mind. Instead of developing, I have destroyed the concentration and this ability that I had. So this is wrong. So what happened here is, at the moment also we have huge amount of anger, attachment and delusion in our heart, in the mind. What happened is that because of the busy environment that we're facing, because of the stress that we are going through, our mind is occupied that we can't really see that we have those roots. It's like an example of the snake. Have I ever talked about this example of the snake? The snake is in his house, and then when he arises, when we get angry. Have I talked about that before? So there's a wonderful example about a snake. Lord Buddha is providing this example. Imagine a snake who live in his maybe habitat or maybe in captivity. Just snake. Just imagine a snake in a captivity or in a cage. So this snake, when you lock the snake in a box, is that snake dangerous? Is that a danger for you? As long as the box is locked, the danger is not there. Because box is locked, snake is inside. So, but actually, does a snake have the ability to kill you? Imagine if it's venomous, like a inland taipan or coastal taipan here. Yes, have the ability to take your life. Poison is there. Ability is there, but there's no harm. That's like our mind. Ability is there to do horrible things. Humans have the ability right now. Each and every one of us have the ability to do horrible things. But we also have a box. Law and culture, the religion or the practice that we believe, and the good qualities that we practice, our influence, social etiquettes. A lot of good qualities are there around us and friends and the society to restrain us from doing wrong things. It's not only the law, also the qualities that we develop, right? So that's our box. That dangerous snake is locked in the box, so no problem, it's there. And especially, like in this audience, we all have a different nature. Are we presenting ourselves in this particular audience as our real nature? Not really. What happens if you behave in this particular audience like you behave in your house? Most probably, we will kick you out, right? So we don't. We don't get angry like at your house. We don't talk to each other here like what we talk to our members in our family, right? So we don't do that. Why? Because we have the social etiquettes. We know that in this society, this is how it should be. When you're in a monastery or temple or on a community, we are more polite and we say good morning to each other. Just imagine the way you say good morning to someone when you see in the morning. Do you do the same thing in the house? When you see your partner or the kids and oh, very good morning, how are you doing today? We don't do that. So how we see the way we have locked ourselves from. So we totally, in a way that we are acting, it's not really acting, it's a good quality actually. Of course, if you start practicing like that in the house, then definitely people in the house will ask, like, what's going on with you? Are you okay? It'll be weird. So the best thing not to practice that, but actually just think to yourself that how you will react to someone that you are really close to, and how you will react to someone that you don't know that well. So we'll try to be polite to the people in the society, community that we are not familiar. But we are not that polite to the people that we really know. Friends and family, and kids sometime, and parents. We don't really practice that much of politeness towards the people that really care about, right? But actually, according to Buddhism, the love and care should be there. The love and care should start from the family and parents and kids and friends. that is the place that you should be aware and loved and cared and kind and show your compassion. And not to society. I'm not saying that don't show the love and care and kindness to the society that you don't know. It should be equal. That's the nature of our mind. So what happened here is that because of this ethics that we know, because of the social values that we practice, we manage a level of discipline. That's the box. And we locked our snake in there. So still the snake have the danger. Snake is there, ability to kill an animal or someone. So imagine you open the box, unlock the box and make the snake angry. What happened? Imagine a cobra. It'll open the hood and come out of the box and show you that he's angry, about to strike. Still, still the animal is a threat to us, but haven't done any harm yet, right? Still the animal is angry, and it's a big threat now because box is open, can come out anytime, have shown that he's angry, but haven't struck yet. So no danger still, but danger is close. That's how when you get angry. When you get angry, it's like a poison, angry snake unlocked, but still haven't struck. So you feel the anger in your heart, the anger arise in your heart, attachment arise in your heart, delusion arise in your heart. So you have a vacant, unwholesome mind to do something, to do a harm to someone. So what will happen if the snake accidentally bites someone? Or maybe purposefully bite someone? Definitely. It'll create a huge damage to the person, maybe life-threatening. So there's a high chance of someone taking the snake's life as well, right? So in the same way, when you do something, that's the third level. We call it vitikkamana, which means now you have the anger, the roots are there, and you have anger that have arisen in your mind, attachment or delusion, anything arised in your mind, and then you have strike. Strike means say something or do something, verbal or physical actions. You know that when you practice the sila, precepts, until you say or do something, you won't create that much of bad karma. Still, when you think the bad karma is there, still your mind, the quality and the condition of the mind will like slow down, and it'll drag down in the path of meditation, but not until you do or say something. So if you can manage your anger up to a level that it arises in your mind, but you don't say or do anything about it, you settle it down. When the snake is angry, when you come out of the box, you cool it down, close the box slowly, and lock it again. Then that way, the snake won't strike. It'll slowly cool down his anger. But when you strike, then we don't know what will happen. So in the same way, our mind has the same ability. The sleeping level, a lock level, is called anusaya. So we all have the tranquilized or calmed anger, attachment, delusion-based mental factors. And sometimes pariyuttana, which means you arise your anger and trigger your anger, you bring it up, and then you nurture it, and then you suffer with the anger that you have in your heart. That's the snake, awakened and angry. And when you strike, you say something or do something. So for a meditator, very important for us to understand that we, as a meditator, it's important to settle down our mind at least from the second step. If you can do it from the first step, wonderful. If you can stay without going to the second step, wonderful. But I don't think that it's that much easy. So if you can restrain the third level, saying something or doing something, instead of that, you contemplate about your anger. You contemplate about your attachment and delusion. Possible. So what happened? Now we all know we have huge amount of unwholesome mental factors in your heart. Because we are busy, because we are covered with all the different mental factors, we don't really see that. So what happens when you meditate? When you meditate, your mind starts settling down and be mindful about yourself. Then you realize you have bigger anger than before. It's not that you're generating new, you're seeing what is really there. It's like, sometime we ask, in meditation it's very important to maintain a clean environment, especially, keep your room and environment clean. So sometimes the students, some of the meditation students, especially in retreats and all, so we ask them to arrange their room nicely. Some long-term practitioners, when we see their rooms, and say like a room is a mess. So sometimes we advise them to clean. When they clean, they say, "Oh, Bhante, how did I live in this room for this long? It was so dirty. Now only I recognize the room is that dirty, room is like that disorganized." So when you start cleaning your room, when you start cleaning your house, then you see the amount of dirt that you have. Simple example, when you just sweep the floor, you don't see all the dirt, right? But when you start sweeping, you see the amount of dust and dirt collected at the end of the process. So then you can't imagine that much of dirt was there. Because small particle here and there, when you collect it, you'll see, yeah, this is it. So that's what happened to our mind. When you practice for the first few stages, then you see that the anger that you already had in your mind, you start experiencing the anger that you already have. You start experiencing the anger attachment that you already have. You start experiencing the delusion that you already had. So the attachment, delusion, all these mental factors, you start experiencing them. Then what happened? You complain that I have developed new anger because of meditation. That's a big mistake. That's why we need some time, a good discussion about the level that you experience. So like there are a lot of other examples like that. That's just one example that there's a high possibility of us mistakenly think that meditation have disturbed and destroyed our compassion, kindness, and concentration. So that'll never happen if you practice the correct pathway. It won't happen. What happens is that you will slowly understand the nature of your mind. Then slowly you will see after a few more months that your mind is settling down. It'll take some time, and slowly you'll recognize now your mind is more calmer and calmer, and then you will start finding solutions to those mental factors that disturbs you. So as I mentioned before, there are mainly 3 different mental factors, 3 roots that disturbs us: raga, dosa, and moha. Attachment, attachment-based mental factors. It's not really the attachment, but the word attachment have a different meaning from the raga. Attachment-based mental factors is the best way to explain it. And anger-based mental factors and delusion-based mental factors. These are the 3 roots. And then your confidence about the path that you practice. These are the 4 different pathways that you should arrange yourself. So what we do, so we have to talk about a technique. The qualities are there. We have developed qualities. Now techniques. So the first technique and the most effective for a beginner, and what we call Chaturaraka in Pali, the 4 protective meditations. Protects you from anger, protects you from attachments, and protects you from delusion. And also give you the confidence to develop the pathway. So what is the opposite factor of anger? Loving kindness. Loving kindness is the opposite of anger. What is the opposite of attachment? There's a meditation called Asubha. Also, the translation is more like the contemplation of the repulsiveness in the body, but we can actually translate that also in a mild way as seeing what really are, what is really there. So seeing what is your body really like, what is the nature of your body, like that? What is the nature of the things that we really consider as attached? So the true nature of the attachment. So something like that. Asubha, because the word subha mean that you have a concept in your mind that I'm not saying that world is not beautiful. World is of course beautiful, but we have our own version of beauty. That's why two different individuals will recognize beauty in two different ways. So we have a concept and a conception about the world, that the world is like this, based on the delusion and attachment-based mental factors that we have. So we interpret things that we see according to our interest and other mental factors. When you look at the world with the concept of asubha, which means you're trying to see what is really there. So then you'll recognize there's not much things for me to be attached. I don't have to be that much attached to this thing, because I thought this is the reason that I'm really attached to this thing. But later I recognize I'm not that much attached. I don't have to explain that to you guys. When you start liking someone, you imagine a lot of things, right? This happens a lot. Not only for a partner, but friends and anyone. When you see someone, when you associate someone, what is the first impression? If it is good, imagine it's a good friend's first impression, it's really good. So you'll encourage yourself to associate that person more and more. You won't see that much of troubles in the character, even if someone pointed you, say this person is like this and this and that. But if you really have an attachment, you won't really consider that much, right? You will just keep it away, and you will consider and you keep your attachment. But when you realize what is the real nature of the person, you will not attach to the same person as before. That's what happened to most of the married couples. When they're married, before they marry, they don't see the weak part or the dark side of the other person, and they fall in love and they like. And after some time, they start complaining about the dark side only. And before marriage, they only see the bright side. After marriage, they only see the dark side. It should be the other way around. Before marriage, you can see the dark side and tolerate. After marriage, you should see the good side and enjoy your life. So we do it the other way around. So anyway, so when you start seeing the dark side of the other person, then you start disliking that. This is not the exact thing, but what we do here in Asubha, we try to understand the real nature of the person, or real nature of the thing or the form that we have attached to. That's the Asubha. So you try to contemplate the reality of the material or the mental factors that we have attached to. And the third one is the meditation of contemplation of the condition of anicca, impermanence. So when you look at your life with the perspective of impermanence, don't consider this as a negative thing, but each and every one of us will die one day. Each and every one of us are going to fall into sicknesses one day. Each and every one of us are going to, going to age, going to be weak one day. I'm not saying because of that we have to stop everything and just worry about it and then don't eat anything, just suffer your life. No. We have to understand this is the true nature that you have to face. Imagine there are two people. One, do not consider that I'm going to die one day, I'm going to be sick one day, I'm going to grow older. The other person knows, yes, I'm going to be old, I'm going to be weak one day, I'm going to fall into sicknesses, I'm going to die. Who can handle and who can face difficulties better? Person who knows. Person who knows that, yes, there's a possibility of me fall into sicknesses in the future. There's a possibility of me fall into, maybe will be weak in the future. There's a possibility of me getting older and maybe not only physically, sometimes mentally also. Our mental conditions also deteriorate, right? There's a possibility me dying one day. So then you understand, okay, when you have to face the difficulty, then you have enough strength. So that's the art of practicing this. Not to develop the negativity, but to be confident. But to be strong when you have to face the difficulty. So you're training your mind to face the difficulty. At the same time, then you will use your life and your time wisely. Why? Because we know things are impermanent. And if you know things are impermanent, then it's very easy for you to manage and handle things. Because then you're not that much attached to it, even you won't get angry, because you know even the anger-based mental factor that arises in your mind is impermanent. You don't have to nurture that. So then you can reduce the level of delusion. So what we do, we call the meditation is recollection of death. That recall your mind that we are going to pass away one day, and until that I have to work hard and develop good qualities and practice my life in a positive manner. I have a few years to live as a human. Not many of us can live up to 100 these days. If it is good, it's wonderful, you are blessed. But we have limited years to live, so we have to work harder and we have to work faster to complete our task. So that is not to discourage yourself, that is to give you the awareness that I don't have time to waste. I have to put my energy and effort to develop my mind. I don't have time to just look here and there. I have to be heedful. We call it heedfulness, appamada. So the last one is we call Buddhanusati. Buddhanusati is the quality or recollection of Buddha's qualities. Also very important, because we recognize Lord Buddha as a person. Also, we can recognize Lord Buddha as a quality. Which one is more effective and correct? Looking at Lord Buddha as a quality. Who said that? Himself. Lord Buddha himself said that. To Venerable Vakkali, he said, if you want to see me, you have to see the Dhamma. If you see the Dhamma, then you will see me. Which means, if you practice through the qualities, you can see Lord Buddha. When you ask the question, who is Lord Buddha? He always used 9 different qualities that we chanted just now. Arahang, Sama Sambuddha, Vijayachana Sampanna, Sugata, Lokavidu, Anuttara Purushotama Sarathi, Sattha Devanusanang, Buddha Bhagavad. There are 9 qualities. So when you contemplate on those qualities, you'll see that the concept of Lord Buddha is a combination of these qualities. A person who eradicates all the desires, person who reached the Nibbana without the support of any teacher, self-enlightened, person who developed his mind up to the highest level and practiced according to that, Vijayachana Sampanna, person who spent a perfect life, entered into the path perfectly, completed the path perfectly, Sugata, a noble person who understood the nature of all type of material world, mental, space, all different sort of worlds, Lokavidu, a person who had the ability to advise someone who is not really easily controllable, not really dangerous individuals. He could advise them and convert them to become a calm person. Anuttara Purushotama Sarathi, the ultimate teacher, the noble teacher to all the humans, deities, Brahmas, and everyone who in all the Sugati realms. And the noble teacher who taught the 4 noble truths to us, Buddha, and a person who is fortunate enough to hold all the good qualities. So then, this is the nature of Lord Buddha. So when someone asks, who is Lord Buddha? You have to ask the question, which Lord Buddha are you talking about? Lord Buddha as a person or Lord Buddha as a quality? So if you look at the qualities, then that is Lord Buddha that we practice and we recognize. And if you consider the person, the noble human being who lived during the 6th century BC, he passed away. And people during that time have seen him. He have records and everything. But he's no longer. His relics are there. He passed away. As a human, the noble human being, he passed away. But as qualities, he's still there with us. That's why when Venerable Malankaputta asked Lord Buddha, are you alive after death? He didn't say yes or no. Why? You know why now? So you can't say yes or no because, of course, as a quality, as long as the sasana, the teachings and the qualities are there, Lord Buddha is there. But if you're talking about the physical form, no, he passed away. That's why he always mentioned himself. Lord Buddha is the qualities, are the qualities that we see. So can we apply the same to other humans as well, other friends that we have? Yes. If you truly care about someone, truly love someone, you won't love that person's physical appearance. You will love the person's nature, the way they talk, their mental strength. We'll have the attraction towards the qualities that they have, right? So the true connection with someone will be there only if you go through their qualities, only if you're attracted to the qualities. Friends, partners, kids, anyone. If you appreciate the qualities, then the connection that you develop will be there forever. If you appreciate the physical form, it'll change when the physical form change. So that's why, to recognize Lord Buddha, we have to recognize the qualities. Right. So quickly we can recognize what is the metta, loving kindness. Loving kindness is a meditation that we practice, develop mental factors against anger. So what we contemplate there, we sit like in a proper posture or in a chair, and I advise most of the time to maintain a straight back if possible. If not, it's okay, but better not to lean against something because you may fall asleep easily because meditation is so comfortable and you will definitely fall asleep. In our retreats, you can see most of the people sometimes, after half an hour or something, they're already like this, going down. When I ask the question, are you sleeping? No, Bhante, I'm concentrating. Okay. Good for you. Okay, go ahead. So this not happen. So then it's better not to lean against a wall or a chair, then you may fall asleep. And you sit properly. When you start sitting like this for a while, you will, like, naturally, your ability will be there. You don't have to do much exercise or anything, but if you want, you can just exercise and practice some yoga and strengthen your back. You can sit properly. And once you start sitting like this, you will enjoy that. You may not be able to sit on the floor with the cross legs sometime, but maintaining a straight back, even in a chair, it's not that difficult. You can learn that slowly and then just give some priority to that. Then you will see more relaxed body than leaning your back against something. You won't get that much of laziness when you practice. So what you do, you settle down your mind, you calm down your mind, and you imagine of a mind where you don't have anger. Imagine that your mind without anger. How pure and how happy and how delighted that would be, right? So imagine such a mind, that mind without anger. And then there are a few words. You can use any of these forms of words. You don't have to just write down my words and practice. You can use any words. But the important thing is imagine a mind without anger. And contemplate on that mind, that your mind, what is the nature of your mind when you're not angry? And then you contemplate on the angerless mind, slowly, and then you can, it's like thinking to yourself, may I be free from anger. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from suffering. May I be well and happy. May I reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Like that. 6 words only. Just, it's in the record, so you can go back to YouTube and listen again. 6 words. May I be free from anger. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from suffering. May I be well and happy. May I reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Those who don't know what is Nibbana and those who don't want to practice all the way to Nibbana, you can go up to the 5th word. You can skip the last one. Buddhist practitioners who want to reach Nibbana, you can go with the 6th word. No problem. We don't have any problem. Buddhist or non-Buddhist or believers or non-believers, anyone can practice. Just have to reduce the last one. If you don't believe in Nibbana, let it go. If you believe in Nibbana, then you go up to the last one. So 6 words. So what you do is just imagine angerless mind and contemplate that to yourself. You do that 2 or 3 times, and then you start radiating that to people around you. May all the people around me be free from anger, hatred, jealousy, suffering, be well and happy, reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Then you radiate you expand that up to whatever areas that you like, to your suburb, and then next stage to your entire state, to entire Australia, to entire world, entire universe. You can expand that. And then from there again to entire universe, entire world, entire country, entire state, entire suburb, and then people around me and yourself. So you go all the way to the universe and come back. Which means you're just radiating your happiness and angerless mind, and you wish everyone to be free from their anger, you wish everyone to be free from their suffering. This is the contemplation of kindness, and especially loving kindness that you develop, metta. When you do that, you'll see, if you effectively do this for a few months, you will see your anger level is now not high like before. If you record and practice, you will see that your level of anger is going down. Short technique. It's very easy, not that difficult. So now you have the one technique. Second one, quickly I'll explain. Contemplation of asubha, which is looking at your body to see the reality. Just contemplate on your body and see the pleasant looking body that you're holding right now. Is that really pleasant and nice and like amiable as you see? Not really, right? So the body that you see, if you don't take a bath for a week or two, you will see how amiable your body is. You can just contemplate on your hair, you contemplate on your skin, you contemplate on in the body hair, and you contemplate on your teeth, contemplate, and there's an order, kesa, loma, naka, danta, tacho, like that. But if you can follow the order, it's wonderful. If not, you can just look at your body, recognize what is really there. Skeleton, skin, muscles, flesh, and what else? We have organs in there, and we have veins, blood in our body, hair, body hair, all these things. Just contemplate in your body and see, am I considering amiable or attractive this particular repulsive things that I have holding for this long? Don't do that to someone else. Just imagine yourself, because if you start imagine someone else, then you may develop anger-based mental factors when you see someone. So it's not that advisable. You don't advise to contemplate or analyze someone else. We always advise to analyze yourself, because when you analyze yourself, you will consider the true nature of your physical form. That is the main intention of practicing asubha meditation. Once you are developed enough, once you are stable enough, then you can contemplate and radiate that to others. Then you're stable. When you're not stable, if you just start radiating that or considering everyone that you see as repulsive, it may develop anger-based mental factors in your mind, and it will not give you good results. So first, if you're interested in doing that, you can practice that. Sometimes, a lot of our lay students don't like to practice that. They like to practice metta meditation to reduce the anger. I recommend that. That's all right, because you just have to go with whatever you want. If your issue is attachment, if you want a solution, then you have to do that. You don't have to do that without any reason. If your problem is anger, if you want to control, if you want to settle down, then compassion and kindness. Third one is recollection of death. As I mentioned before, it's also a meditation. And the technique include, you think about, you don't have to only think about the death, but you can think about the impermanence. Take a subject and think how impermanent this subject would be. It can be a mental factor, it can be a physical factor, so it can end someday. So marana is also a word for the end. So you're contemplating on the end of the mental factor or the physical factor that you're experiencing. Just contemplate, that's enough. It'll settle your mind down, and it'll give you the awareness things are impermanent. And then also the last one, if you have enough time and exposure, you can learn the qualities of Buddha and contemplate on the qualities of Buddha, not as a person, but as qualities. Then you will see a person who taught this teaching system. What is the quality of the Lord Buddha, and what is the motivation of Lord Buddha to teach the pathway to us. What type of person he is as a quality, with the quality. So then you will develop confidence in the pathway to develop more and more meditation. So the word Shraddha, so I like to introduce word Shraddha mostly as confidence in the pathway. Not really faith. We use the word faith, Shraddha, but Shraddha is more like the confidence that you have the knowledge, and you know, you trust it because you have the knowledge and you have gone through the understanding. So then you'll recognize the qualities of Buddha, you'll recognize the nature of impermanence, you'll recognize the nature of reality, and you'll recognize the nature of loving kindness. So these four things: loving kindness, asubha, or the nature of the reality, and maranasati, or the understanding of impermanence, and the confidence based on Buddha Hanusati. These four are the four protective meditations. So this is just a brief introduction to four protective meditations. So you can learn about them with more information. There's a lot of information available. So you can practice them, and you can ask questions and develop those qualities and meditations. Then maybe next year, if you have the records, next year, Vasa, if I come, you can show me the records and the developed nature of your mind and how you have gathered the information and experiences based on meditation. So I'd like to share this message to all of you. I'd like to see you next year with more bright minds. Maybe some of you will reach the enlightenment before me, before I come next year, and that will be wonderful if that's so. I'd like to share this message to all of you to be happy, healthy, peaceful, and content, and to reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana by the power of these meritorious deeds. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also would like to share these merits today. Just before that, I think one of our beloved monks, Nisarana Bhante's brother, he told me that his brother is in the hospital, so I would like to share this merits to Venerable Nisarana Bhante's brother. I think one brother is in the hospital, the other brother is also sick, so I would like to share this merits to Venerable Nisarana Bhante and his two brothers, and all the monks who are practicing, and also all the lay people, and all the deities, and all the living beings who would like to share these merits. May all of them share these meritorious deeds, be happy, healthy, peaceful, and content, and reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana by the power of these meritorious deeds. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bhante, do we take some questions?
Yeah.
How long have you got?
Half an hour.
Okay, thank you.
Usually we have to stop by 11 for the lunch, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Around like 10:50.
Okay. Is there any questions from the floor before we go to online?
Thank you, Venerable. We have several words of thanks, including for the story of the snake and the box. There is a question here about if someone meditates 3 hours a day in 5 or 10 years, might one get enlightened? And this was something they heard from one of the ajahns from the BSWA, and ask about what you think of that, and how many before they can maybe achieve that.
It's a high possibility. If you meditate like 5-6 hours a day and for 10 years continuously, there's a very high possibility you might reach the attainment. We have evidence to that as well. In Satipatthana Sutta explains, if you practice Satipatthana diligently, even for the weakest person, if you practice continuously for 7 years, which means continuously, like you are fully in mindfulness for 7 years continuously, I'll definitely attain either Arahant or Anagami, not only like Sovan Sakadagami. It's in the record, we have in the Sutta, of course. But like the issue is that if you don't have enough faculty knowledge, then there will be an effect. But still imagine that you're not a person who have the sufficient amount of faculty knowledge to reach Indriya Dhamma, to reach the enlightenment. Even if you practice 10 to 20 years continuously, that will develop the faculties that you don't have. So you will develop those faculties. So at least, and at the end of this life or next life, you will definitely fulfill your pathway. So our practice will never go wasted. So if you have the proper sufficient level of faculties, then definitely, according to the Satipatthana Sutta, you just need 7 years, but you have to continuously practice mindfulness for 7 years. It's in the Sutta. You can see the last few paragraphs of Sutta. Sutta ends with that advice from Lord Buddha. So it's in Digha Nikaya Mahavagga, the Satipatthana Sutta, I think last chapter, last paragraph, or the paragraph before the last one.
Thank you.
Any questions from the floor before we go to another online?
Yes, one from the... Yes, Kosala.
Venerable, we all know about metta and meditation. Now there's a big conflict in Israel and Palestine. How can we Buddhists settle their minds? Is there any way we can do that? I know during Buddha's time there were wars, and Lord Buddha has settled the two wars, Koli and So how can we improve their minds of Israelis and Palestinians?
War is a tragic thing that going on in our history forever. As long as human is full with craving, and according to the Sutta, the roots of the war is craving. So as long as we have craving in our mind, war will be continued forever. The biggest war that we have to fight is with ourselves, actually. That is much more dangerous than the war that we can see outside. The internal war is much more dangerous because we are struggling every day to settle down our mind. Especially for a meditator, you will see how the craving and the attachment and all these dangerous mental factors. As I mentioned, in Asi Usapama Sutta, it's explained that you're nurturing your 4 elements like you're nurturing 4 different snakes. So we are already at war with ourselves. So the best thing that we can do to show the compassion, kindness, contemplation, and wish no one may reach any harm with any of these conflicts. Not only 2 different countries, but all over the world. There's a lot of conflicts all over the world. So as a meditator, Buddhist or non-Buddhist, especially people who believe in the spiritual conditions, spirituality, because I have a lot of friends who practice different spiritual practices here. So for a Buddhist practitioner especially, our ultimate goal is to reach Nibbana and to eradicate all the suffering and all the desires in our heart. For any other practitioners who want to achieve the spiritual happiness in their mind, the best thing to do is to show the compassion and kindness to everyone and wish may everyone be happy, healthy, peaceful and content, and may they reach the peace. So it is unfortunate that we have to witness all this, especially during the Second World War. You can see, the number of death and the destruction that caused by war. So war is never a solution for anything, but it'll never stop. That's the nature of our mind. So we would like to share the merits and wishes to everyone who is in danger, who is in harm. May they reach some peace by the power of these merits, and we have the ultimate compassion for everyone in the world.
Thank you, Venerable.
One question. Yeah.
Sorry, can you just wait? Just stick. I'll
the
just pass the
microphone.
microphone so the online audience can hear you as well.
Hello, sir. In simple terms, can you please explain what Nibbana is?
Nibbana is the eradication of all the desires, anger-based mental factors, delusion-based mental factors, and attached-based mental factors. So once you eradicate all these unwholesome mental factors, what remain will be the wholesome mental factors. So we use the word Nibbanang Paramang Sukhang. So if someone asks me to explain what is Nibbana in one word, one sentence, we can say ultimate happiness. paramang sukha. So this ultimate happiness that we experience or we explain is not the happiness that we understand with the material. So we have the imagination of material happiness, mental or material happiness based on the worldly things and the desires that we have right now. So if you try to convert that happiness to a different type of happiness, like as an example, for a kid, no matter how hard you explain the happiness of having a good job, earning money, he won't understand. He will ask. I have done this test. Like, usually the intelligent kids, they ask questions like, if they're like toys. So if you say, it's like you're getting your favorite toy every month. You can buy the favorite toy every month. Then they will understand. Oh, so it's like getting a favorite toy every month. That's how happy you feel when you get the salary, and that's how you feel when you have a job. If you try to explain this to a 5-year-old, they won't understand. Still they won't understand. Still they will understand the receiving of a gift every month, but they won't understand you have to work for that. Try to explain them. Sometimes some people they work. Most of them they don't. They don't work and they don't really enjoy the work. They just work to earn money. But those who enjoy their work, they really work and they enjoy the work that they do. Try to explain that happiness to a kid. Not so easy. In the same way, that we have the material frame already. We have this desire-based mental and material happiness-based frame already. So it's very difficult for us to convince or explain what is the happiness when you don't have them. So if you can imagine, there's a happiness beyond the happiness that we know, which is not based on material or mental things, but understanding, that is Nibbana. So the ultimate happiness based on the understanding is the Nibbana.
So that is only for this world, or it's
this
beyond?
World only.
Is it beyond this world?
Definitely this world. Yeah. Even though that in our when someone passes away, we share the merits of may he reach Nibbana.
Yeah.
He can reach Nibbana if he practice, not because we wish. So Nibbana is a mental state that you develop. So only if you develop, you can reach there. It's something that you experience in this particular life, not in the afterlife. Even though that we share the merits to when it's a traditional thing we do. We share the merits to someone, may he reach Nibbana, but you don't reach Nibbana, or you don't reach that happiness after death. If you develop right now,
Right.
if you manage to eradicate your desires right now, you'll experience that happiness right now.
In this world.
In this particular world.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Venerable. I'm going to paraphrase a question from online, and it's perhaps a request to share a little about what happens during the Vasa, during the rains retreat. Could you perhaps share what that practice is for monks and nuns, and including maybe how long each day does one meditate?
It depends on the monastery, and also Vasa. The practice of the Vasa also depends on the tradition, because Sri Lankan tradition, we have different practice. Sometimes Thai tradition, they have a little bit different. Myanmar tradition. So in Theravada practice, we have we don't really have like differences in the theory or based on the Dhamma, but traditionally, we have some traditional practices, especially regarding the Katina robe and all these things. So it's going to be complicated, so I can explain simply about the Sri Lankan one. Sri Lankan one is mostly our tradition. We obtain Vasa for 3 months. Thereof, the Vasa season is 4 months, but we obtain Vasa for 3 months. So first 3 months is the first Vasa, and the second 3 months is the second Vasa. So monks who obtain the first 3 months, we determine to stay in one monastery for this particular 3 months. This is for us to practice. Previously, the particular rule was established by Buddha to keep the monks in one place during the rain retreat, and later it became like a meditation tradition, like monks meditate during the rain retreat at that time. So we try to minimize other works during the Vasa time and try to develop our schedule with more meditation approach. Try to increase the time that we meditate in the monastery, maybe 5 to 6 hours. Some monasteries go up like 8 hours, depending on the condition of the monastery. So different monasteries have different schedules, but we try to prioritize our meditation during that time, and also try to prioritize the teachings of meditation and Dhamma to others. Some monasteries, we stop construction and all, so we just try to focus on practice during that time as a retreat. And then spend 3 months. So there's a rule that when you obtain that vasa, you cannot stay away from your monastery more than 7 days. So 6 days, 7th day you have to come back. So that encourage monks to stay in one place for 3 months, so they don't really move around, and try to practice more meditation, try to teach more meditation and Dhamma to the lay people. So this is like general, but there are a lot of other cultural things based on that, like where the people treat monks, and so some traditions that we follow, and the Katina robe ceremony, and it's like it's a big now we have a lot of traditional things attached to this vasa and Katina.
Thank you, Venerable. Any other questions from the room?
All right, so
There is one more that has just popped up online, and the question is continuing as the 5 aggregates are impermanent dukkha, not self. Not sure I fully understand the question. Continued as the 5 aggregates are impermanent dukkha, not self.
which means I think the question must be asking about how to contemplate 5 aggregates based on impermanence, suffering, and non-selfness, right? This is the main practice of Vipassana, Skandha Ayatana and Dhatu. So when you look at the insight meditation, once you finish this, usually in our advice we say that for protective meditation and breathing meditation, this is the base. Start with the Samatha practice. So if you want to practice Vipassana, then you go with the 4 protective meditation and one of the Vipassana techniques. So we practice. Once you settle down your mind and once you are in a settled stage, then we try to contemplate on 3 things: 5 aggregates, 4 elements, and 6 senses: ayatana, skandha ayatana, dhatu. So this is to understand about the self. So when you consider self, then you can see either self as 5 aggregates, either self as 6 senses, or self as 4 elements. So either way, we have 3 different concepts to break it down. So what we do, we analyze based on impermanence. So we analyze our aggregates, how impermanent they are, how they become impermanent. We analyze our 4 elements and senses, how impermanent they are. And then we analyze how they lead to suffering. Suffering is not the pain according to Buddhism. Suffering is the continuation process of change. That we don't like. We can't maintain things according to our way. So it's not the pain. So then we understand, because it's out of our control, because it is changing all the time, so then we understand it's not ourself. It's just a process that we're clinging into. This is the ultimate understanding of 5 aggregates, 4 elements, or 6 senses. So when you understand that, so in the sutta Buddha said that if one want to become a Sotapanna person, he have to contemplate 5 aggregates based on Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta. And if a Sotapanna person want to be a Sakadagami, same process, analyze 5 aggregates with Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta. If a Sakadagami person want to be an Anagami, same process, contemplate 5 aggregates with 3 elements, Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta. If someone want to be Arahant, to contemplate 5 aggregates with 3 conditions. So this apply to all other techniques as well. So any of these techniques, if you contemplate based on impermanent, suffering, and non-selfness, then definitely you can reach an attainment. It leads to the development of the Vipassana insight.
Thank you, Venerable, for a very comprehensive answer there.
Well, thank you, Venerable. I think it's probably time. Again, Venerable, thank you very much for attending the BSV for the last three months over the Vassa period and providing us your Dhamma reflections. We're very, very grateful to have you here.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much. So, I'd like to share the blessings. Sabbetyo ajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayu sughe diga yuko bhava bhavat sab mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabbuddhanu bhavena sabba dhammanu bhavena sabba sanganu bhavena sada sotti bhavantu te supatti. Okay. See you next year.
Thank you. Thanks for the homework. could everyone just wait until Bhante leaves the room?